Gods of Death, Chapter 11, Sailing to Isfet. Meanwhile, the other Egyptian gods were aimlessly following Lucifer through the desert. When are we gonna find this guy? Snarled Sekhmet. Patience is a virtue. I'm not as knowledgeable about this terrain as you are, so I don't know why you expect me to find him instantly. Snapped back Lucifer. You said you could get rid of him just like that, yelled Horus. And yes, I can, but finding him's a whole different story. However, I think I know someone who can help. I recruited this guy before any of the gods even met. He can be of assistance. Lucifer opened his grimoire and performed a summoning spell. Through the portal emerged King Yan Wang, the god of death from China, an angry expression on his face. I'm very busy. What do you want, devil? He said. You see, my lovely new friend and I were in need of your assistance, O mighty king, Lucifer replied, giving a mocking bow. Can you speak to the dead of this region to locate a certain god by the name of Set? Once you've helped us, you can return to your business. King Yan Wang eyed Lucifer, and then the gathered Egyptian gods. I will help, but only because I respect the balance of life and death. After this, I expect no further summons. Agreed, Lucifer said with a sly grin. Now let's get started. King Yan Wang began his ritual, summoning the spirits of a commanding presence that made the air around him hum with energy. The spirits swirled around him in a mesmerizing display of colors, their ethereal forms flickering as they spoke in a cacophony of voices, both ancient and modern. It was as if the voices of countless generations were conveying all at once. As the spirits shared their knowledge, their voices became blurred, speaking languages both familiar and long forgotten. Then, as suddenly as they appeared, the spirits dispersed, sinking back into the earth from which they came. Yan Wang turned to the group, his expression grave. Some of the recent spirits mentioned a storm about 50 miles east of here. They describe it as unusual, with the face of a strange animal. I believe this is the being you seek. Thank you very much, and I rest assured this will benefit all of us in the end, Lucifer replied, summoning a new portal for King Yan Wang. Now you may return to your duties. With one last disgruntled glance, King Yan Wang stepped through the portal and disappeared. Meanwhile in Duat, Anubis, Toph, Isis, Basset, and Babi sailed through the vast river system under a sky filled with shimmering stars. The boat glided smoothly along the dark waters, reflecting the celestial beauty above. It is quite beautiful down here, Basset remarked, her eyes catching the twinkle of distant stars. I've been so focused on protecting the people above that I've overlooked the beauty of Duat. Toph nodded, his gaze thoughtfully. Duat holds its own mysteries and splendor, often overshadowed by the chaos we manage. Babi, steering the boat with a mischievous grin, chuckled. You wouldn't find it so beautiful if you spent as much time here as I do. But even I can deny these nights have their charm. He guided the boat to a split in the river. That way leads to Eru, but we're not headed there, he announced, a smirk playing on his lips. Hold on tight, Babi warned as the boat suddenly dipped, catching a wild current. The air grew hotter, the once tranquil night sky transforming into a fiery red. The river narrowed, forcing the boat to swerve erratically through the tight passage. This is pure chaos, Basset shouted over the roar of the turbulent waters. Of course it is, my lady. Chaos is exactly where we're headed, Babi replied, his grin widening. It was clear from his ease that this wasn't his first journey into the heart of Duat's wildest regions. The water shifted from a midnight blue to a deep inky black as the surroundings transformed into a sprawling cave filled with raging fires and a mandarine of monsters. Sauropods, a strange serpent leopard hybrid, prowled the edges while griffins soared overhead. Despite their fearsome appearance, the creatures paid little attention to Babi and the other gods. Some bowed their heads in respect, while others kept their distance, possibly out of fear. As they ventured deeper, they came across a group of baboons, much like Babi, feasting on some kind of flesh. Upon seeing the boat, the baboons perked up, excitement gleaming in their eyes. They swung towards the newcomers. Where have you been, Babi? We've been waiting for our food for an hour now, one of the baboons complained. Yeah, we're starving over here, added another, gnawing on a large piece of flesh. Well, if you help me, you'll never go hungry again, Babi shouted. The baboons erupted in excitement, bouncing around wildly, one even ricocheting off the cave walls. Babi, caught up in the frenzy, joined them in their over-the-top celebration. Babby, Isis yelled, her patience wearing thin. Tell your friends that we're in a hurry. Calm yourself, Your Highness, one of the baboons said, still bouncing off the walls. We baboons just want to have fun. The baboon came a little too close for Isis' comfort. With a flick of her hand, she transformed the ape into a small frog. Holding the frog firmly, she addressed the remaining baboons, her voice commanding. Listen to me now. Unless you want to join your friend here as a frog, I suggest you do as we say. Take us to Mayat immediately. The baboons, now trembling with fear, nodded in agreement. Isis tossed the frog back to the ground, where it quickly reverted to its baboon form and scurried away. The remaining baboons, without hesitation, began carrying the boat through the fiery realm. I was already gonna have them go this way, Your Majesty, Babby muttered. Oh, really? Could it seem like you're just monkeying around, Bassat quipped, turning a laugh from herself. Toph, however, wasn't amused. This isn't a time for jokes, he said, his tone serious. If the gods clash up there, it could lead to devastation in Egypt, and we could be overwhelmed with souls and Duat. Don't think I can keep track of that many at once. Toph's worry was evident as he pulled out his slab to do a frantic calculations. Calm down, Toph, Anubis said, reassuring. When we meet Mayat, she will restore balance to the land, just as her feather does for my scale. The new passage the baboons guided the boat through was much narrower than the previous one. The air was thin and scorching, fatal to any mortal who might venture there. The distant rumbling sound grew louder with each passing moment, sending shivers through the baboons. Their pace slowed as they began to tremble even more than when they feared being turned into frogs. What's the matter with them, Bassat asked. Have they never heard of a Duat quake? Actually, Toph began, Duat doesn't shake like the earth does. You see, before he could finish, the rumbling intensified, causing the boat to tip over, tossing all the gods out. Hey, where are they going? Shouted Anubis as the baboons fled in the opposite direction, their tremors growing wilder. We should get out of here as well, Babby urged, trying to push Anubis' safety but failing. We can't. We must get to Mayat, Anubis insisted, struggling to stay upright on the unsteady ground. I know what this rumbling is, Anubis. It must be... End of chapter. Thank you for watching, if you are watching, and thank you for supporting me. I appreciate it. And next time, let's find out what's going to happen next in Gods of Death. See you then.